Hello everybody, welcome to another Escapists 2 100% speed run. This is going to be another post-commentary because this run was recorded late last night, and right before the run started I had a request to kind of keep my voice down just so people could make sure they could go to sleep. So this is going to be post-commentary. So yeah, the stream we did yesterday, we started with some individual level speed runs, and we got the IL world records for both Rattlesnake Springs and Area 17. It's very productive. And I got those quickly enough that I decided I had time to do a 100% run. And this is actually the only 100% run I did during that stream. And spoiler alert, we set a new PB. It was pretty sick that that happened in the first run. But yeah, because of the noise request, my commentary in this was both very quiet and not as active as it usually would be. You might still hear some of my original commentary under my breath in this little post commentary. But yeah, so we're starting off on Center Perks 2.0. We found the duct tape in our own desk, and it didn't take us much longer to find the broom. No energy regeneration items though, but they're really not necessary. So yeah, we're just gonna be getting our intellect up. So the first thing you might notice is that on the side, I don't just have one split tracker, I have two. And the reason why is because I have to compare against my own. I wanted to compare against my own personal best plus the world record. If you haven't been following the Escapists 2 speedrunning community, you know that I lost the world record. It's a damn shame. But yeah, going into the last weekend, my goal was to get the run under an hour, and we did it, and I stopped speedrunning at that point because I thought, this record is safe. I was dead wrong. Before the weekend was even over, the other runner, I'm just gonna stick to calling him Stealtho88, as he is on YouTube. I've been switching between Stealtho and Cats and Clow, because Cats and Clow is what he goes by on the actual speedrun leaderboards. But I'm gonna stick to just calling him Stealtho88. But anyway, on Sunday, or I set the world record on Saturday. On Sunday, he broke it. He was having good runs the entire time. He was giving me some updates on he was getting to Fort Tundra at this time, and it was and I pretty much knew that my record was in jeopardy, and I was literally telling him, I just have to hope Fort Tundra keeps screwing you over. But it didn't. Fort Tundra failed me. Come on. And yeah, he took the record from me, and his new record beat mine by over 5 minutes. It's 52:05. So yeah, since we had time in last night's stream, I decided to give it a shot to take the world record back. And we start off with a really good Center Perks 2.0. 36 seconds ahead of my PB and 25 seconds ahead of the world record. And we go into what is it? Cougar Creek Railroad is what this map is called. Sometimes I blank out on that stuff. Anytime you go into Center Perks, you're just really hoping for all the stuff for the horse escape to be found in the first two deaths. In that first death, I actually find 3 items I need between the two different escapes, and lo and behold, we look into the set chest and we find the rest of the items for the fake carrot. So we get a really fast Cougar Creek on top of a very good Center Perks 2.0. At this point, I am 2 minutes ahead of my PB and over a minute ahead of the world record. So actually, going into this, I was kind of looking at the splits of the world record run, and the big thing is he had improved on up until Fort Tundra. He had improved on every prison against my world record, except for Kapow Camp. He had a really bad Kapow Camp. Kapow Camp in my first sub-hour run was 6.5 minutes. Kapow Camp in his new world record was 9 minutes. So I knew that was a huge time save, but getting a really good opening just made that even like crazy. And I was like, wow, this like. Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of places where it could go wrong, but it was already looking really good because I knew there was a bunch of time to save in Kapow Camp. In Rattlesnake Springs here, we don't get the best favor RNG, but we get pretty much the second best. We don't find the delivery driver quest right away, but we do find the fashion victim quest right away. And that's really good because it's a series of 3 and it's 35 points each, so you just need to do it twice. The fact that we found it while people were still going to roll call means we could quickly go grab the first item, return it, and pick it up again, go grab the next item, and then we're done. We've got all the money we need. Unfortunately, we looked to find the sellers, and none of them is selling an iron rod or a crowbar. So that is a bit of a setback, but we figured we are so far ahead in this run, we can take our time and just wait for the items to change. Because, like, yeah, it's like 2 minutes improvement over our PB. Like, we can afford to just wait around a little bit for the items to change. It doesn't change as fast as I would like. Like, we keep checking all the sellers, like, minute after minute, and it takes forever for one of them to show up with the iron bar or the crowbar. We do finally find it, and we did also pick up a soda can in the middle of all that, so that we can actually spend energy to charge cancel down to the spot and not have to worry about not having enough energy to break through the wall. So that was very nice. So it's not the best Rattlesnake Springs ever, and in fact we do lose back some of the time on the world record and our own PB, but it's still overall a really good opening. So we end this opening. I can just consider the first 3 prisms. We end the opening about a minute and a half of our PB, and 25 seconds ahead of the world record. But again, we're going into Kapow Camp, which is where the world record really just kind of went off the rails for a small little bit there. So I knew if we can get a good Kapow Camp, we can be even further ahead of the world record, and then it's just a matter of making sure the rest of the prisons go smoothly. So, what am I gonna say here? How am I gonna fill the dead space? I should have thought about this beforehand, but basically, we're just gonna be looking through all the desks. Again, on Kapow Camp we are looking for the 3 paint cans, a screwdriver, and a soda can. And I believe we find the screwdriver right here. We find it pretty early, and we are able to just sneak it past the guard. That was a little bit risky taking it right there. And it wouldn't have been too much time lost just to wait to pick it up later, because it is already right next to our desk. But anyway, we go and pick up some quests. And it's taken us a while to find the good ones. And again, the quests are just a backup just in case you end up having to buy the items. If you were doing this in an IL speedrun, you would just, like, you wouldn't bother with any of this. You would just search for the items, and if you don't get it, reset. But since we're in a single segment run, you need to adjust for any bad RNG you might get. We're taking up this quest just in case we need to buy one of the items. We get some good quest lines. In fact, we're able to go quickly get one of the items before we head over to breakfast time. And there we also find another paint can. And I don't think we find anything else in these other 2 desks. But yeah, then we go off to breakfast time, check in to make sure the star meter stays low, and also go up and get our intellect right then. So it's looking like a pretty decent start. We've got one of the items we need. We've got part of the makeshift ladder. And we've got good quests to buy one of the items if we need. But since the soda can is the most expensive part, we're just really hoping we at least find the soda can. We return that quest, we pick up another one just in case we need it. I do waste a little bit of time checking for other quests. I really probably should have just stuck with the ones I had because I knew I had plenty of quests. But yeah, we get right into gathering up our intellect here. So, yeah, as far as the IL speedruns go, I did the 2 in the stream yesterday. We have the new IL world record for Rattlesnake Springs at 1 minute 23 seconds, and a new record for Area 17, which I believe was 4 minutes and 27 seconds. Those were the main 2 that the IL world record still had a lot of it that still had room to improve. I wouldn't say a lot of room to improve for Rattlesnake Springs since we only broke the record by 4 seconds. But we did break the Area 17 record by over 2 minutes. Or maybe not quite 2 minutes, pretty close to 2 minutes. But yeah, and part of the reason I did those IL runs was just because, for Rattlesnake Springs, is because basically I was the one who introduced the strat to the speedrunning community, and I was talking with Stealth, and we basically agreed it'd be a little weird if the person who invented the strat didn't at least try to get the IL world record. But it is mine now, so all is well in the world of speedrunning this game. Area 17, I did mostly because there was a lot of room to improve, plus Area 17 was a constant, like, failure point in my 100% run, so I thought it'd be a good idea to practice it. We get our intellect up and go back to the desk, and we find the soda can, and that's very nice. Because at this point, we just need to get either 2 more paint cans or just buy the makeshift ladder from someone already constructed. We look through these last few desks, and we don't find any more paint cans, but we've got the good quest, and we actually already found 2 of the quest items. And that's 75 coins once we return them. That's enough to buy the makeshift ladder right away. So at this point, and we actually find a 3rd item, so that also opens up the possibility of just buying 2 separate paint cans from the prisoners, if just luck has it be that way. Yeah, so we're just like checking around these prisoners to see if any one of them is the one we were needing to return the items to. We do find that one. And what we get? Yeah, we're just waiting for everyone to come back to exercise time so we can return all the quests. Yeah, we quickly checked the conductor quest and saw that the guy we needed to return to was up there, so I correctly figured that the guy that was coming to exercise time from above was the guy we needed to return to. There's also this guy we need to return the other Ich lieben Kunst quest to, and then we are good to go. We've got plenty of money, and we're just looking to see who is selling paint cans or the makeshift ladder. We find 1 paint can. We don't find anyone making the makeshift ladder, but that is good because it means we can just do like 1 more quest to get our money back up, and then actually doing this quest will give us enough to either buy the makeshift ladder if we find it now, or just buy another paint can. Unfortunately, we get some really bad luck here. None of the people are selling the paint can or the constructed makeshift ladder. One of the sellers is in fact dead, so we can't check them yet, but yeah. This is bad, because it means like what would have been a really good kapow camp, we are now slowly starting to lose a lot of the time we had to make up. In fact, people are just like changing shops, so we're still not finding the item. And like if you were watching the run when it happened, you could tell I was getting pretty frustrated that I was checking around shops for a long time and nobody had it. I don't know why I was going down there. I guess I just got lost a little bit in the map in my head and just like kind of looking for any of the shop. So yeah, we're looking around, like, we're, like, checking all the shops we can, and just, like, nobody is changing into the paint can or the makeshift ladder. Right, and, like, right, if we had gotten the paint can or the makeshift ladder right then, back at exercise time, we would be probably, like, 3 minutes ahead of the world record pace right now. Instead, we are, like, slowly losing time, and I think... well, no spoilers. We'll wait till it actually happens on screen before we talk about it. So yeah, we're just like rushing around trying to find any of the sellers we can. We check this one, still doesn't have it. We check this guy, or I keep trying to check this guy and accidentally jumping on the machines, but check that guy, still doesn't have it. And like, it's starting to get a little bit ridiculous, because we just need the 1 paint can or, to find someone with a makeshift ladder already constructed, but we're not finding either of those in a long time. So if this was anything less than how good our opening was, we would have reset here. The only reason I'm even dealing with this much bad RNG is because our opening was really good, so it's still overall a pretty good run. We can see already at this point, if you pay attention to the splits, we're already starting to lose time on our personal best. Right there, you can tell we're starting to get impatient because I just walked right through the contraband detector, even though I know I'm still carrying that screwdriver. So we check this guy. Thankfully, he finally has the makeshift ladder ready, and we've already got a guard on our tail, and we just need to beat him up and take the mids. But yeah, this was a pretty bad kapow camp. For a map that we were supposed to make up a lot of time on, this went about as bad as it could, where we would still, where it was still worth it to continue. And that's the only reason we even are continuing is because our opening was so good. So we finally got everything together, and we're finally getting through the vent and over to the escape. But yeah, so we had a really good opening, but then the point where we were really supposed to make up a lot of time, we just get terrible luck, and so I think we're gonna end up having made up. We're actually gonna have lost a little bit of time on the world record, but we're still gonna be ahead of its pace for now. But the problem with that is I knew the world record had a really good pace on most of the rest of the run. So I knew it was going to be hard at this point to keep chasing down the world record. But the thing was, my personal best, the first sub-hour run that we did, the 57:27, I knew we still had a lot of room to improve on Area 17 and USS Anomaly, so either way, even if we were losing time on the world record, it could still be a really good PB. But yeah, going into HMS Orca after that debacle that was Kapow Camp, I'm just hoping for a really lucky run here. I don't think we find anything here, but in one of the next desks or two, we're gonna find both the duct tape and the bolts. So at that point we're pretty much just looking for the tubing. I don't know if it's this one, but I think it's the next one. Yeah, it's the next one. In this desk, after we fight this guard, we're gonna find the duct tape and the bolts. And that got my hopes up, because I thought if we can just find the tubing in the bottom row, we can have a really good orca and even maybe make up some time on the world record. It's right here. That's even better. We rushed over. Yeah, you can hear me mumbling probably still a bit. I'm just like really hoping that it's there. We get some bad configurations on the guards because of just like there's one guard coming back from the hospital and also the other one still patrolling that area. We have to fight both of them. That's a little bit of a shame that we just lose a little bit of time just by having to fight them. We're still going well. We still got 2 tests to check to try to find that tubing for the jet sea escape while we're still downstairs. We don't find it there. We find a duplicate duct tape, but duplicates don't matter. And we look in this one, and it's absolutely nothing. At this point, I'm like actually getting mad that it's like teasing me with the good luck and then not delivering on it. But I believe we do end up finding the tubing right here. So it's not the worst orca in the world, but it's still like not the good luck we needed to really get some progress on catching the world record run. But we do make up a little time back on our PB, because I think we had a pretty unlucky orca in the sub-hour run. But anyway, we're on to HMP Offshore. This is one where this is one that I thought there's little chance we're going to make up any time on the world record. But there's a decent chance for us to make up some time on our PB. The thing about this is, I was talking with Stealtho88 about our strats in HMP Offshore, about how I kind of look for some health regeneration items before I go, just as a safety measure. And he was talking about, like, he finds it usually reliable that you don't actually have to do that. But luckily so I decided ahead of time I would just check my desk and then just go straight to it. But luckily enough, I do find a cookie in my own desk, so, like, lucky me. I, like, already committed to only checking my desk, and I find a 20 health regeneration item anyway. So I just check into roll call really quick and go down over to that area. And I didn't make sure to rename red key guards so that I know who they are. And we're kind of looking, trying to find them. And they're nowhere to be found. There's all the guards down there, none of them are the ones with the red key. And that's really bad. Like, of all the guards over there, none of them have the red key. Means we're going to have to wait for a little bit, but we're still on good pace. So we just got to do a little bit of waiting, which is not bad. We decided to take our time to check that desk up there anyway, and we find some armor, which just makes sure that this is safe. Yeah, we're just checking the map looking for the red key guards, and we are struggling to find any of them. There's always the two that are up at roll call, and those are going to take a while to show up if you end up having to wait for them, because they're also the ones who go around checking the desks after roll call. Yeah, so we're running into a bit of a problem here, not being able to find the red key guard soon, which is still okay. Because this is about how long an offshore would normally take for me with looking for the regeneration items. But we're already well equipped. We're just waiting for the opportunity to strike. But yeah, like ideally, with the timing of it, there usually is. There's always one red key guard that starts in the guard area, that starts walking up to the main area, pretty much right at the start of the level. But the thing is, sometimes they can just end up going downstairs instead of upstairs once they reach the tower. I think that's what happened here. So we got there like early enough that we should have intercepted him, but it looks like he went downstairs instead of upstairs, so we missed our opportunity. We finally find the red key guard, and this still isn't a horrible offshore, I repeat myself, but I was counting on a little bit better luck getting that red key guard in order to catch up some time on world record. So we're losing more time on world record because we couldn't get good luck on the guard, but we do find a health pack on the guard, which makes absolute sure that we're safe in the run down to the helicopter. We had a little bit of a mess up there, both because the autosave caused a little bit of a lag spike and because I was going diagonally on my charge cancel by accident. But we do make it to the helicopter. We made up some time on the PB, but again, we lost time on world record just because of the bad luck on not being able to find the red guard here. And now we're going into Fort Tundra. So if you saw my IL run on Fort Tundra, you know that I have a little bit of an adaptation to my strat here. Namely, we're making a level 3 pickaxe instead of a level 3 shovel, which tends to be a little bit more reliable. So, I mean, hopefully, that little adaptation to the strat makes Fort Tundra not so much the run killer that it used to be, and it's more just like kind of a walk, and like an easy stroll through this level. Although, still, RNG can screw you over a little bit if the wrong items spawn. We do find one soda cannon. That's pretty much all you need for the new escape, because another thing about making the pickaxe instead is that it's more energy efficient. So, whereas in the old method we were trying to find as many regeneration items as we can, with the pickaxe, pretty much just one soda is all the energy regeneration you should need. But yeah, we're looking through, trying to pick up quests. We're getting some Beat the Bully quests to try to spawn extra duct tape and timber. We're not getting too good luck in that area, but we're also looking for quests just to make some money. And we took a discredit quest there, which was a little bit, it kind of threw off my pattern a little bit, because I'm used to just rushing straight through exercise time at this after roll call and going to get my intellect up right away. In fact, I still could have done that, but I still had in my mind that the discredit quest usually gives you contraband. So I ended up changing my plan, and I just like keep looking through desks a little bit, just to make sure I could get rid of the discredit item. But it turned out to have been a dead rat, so I really didn't need to do that. We find a baseball bat, but we know that's just from the Beat the Bully quest, so we don't need to pick it up for anyone. Find another energy drink, probably not necessary, but we pick it up anyway just because why not? You know. check into extra time really quick. While we're here, I decide to go for a few more quests. We find an Equilibrium Kunst, which is nice. And I think with that one, I decide, yeah, that's probably good enough. But I end up going to check these desks. That guard is a little bit annoying watching us there, but he looks away enough that we can check in these desks finally. We find a timber and the Equilibrium Kunst item. We also find a duct tape there, so our luck is starting to turn around. We're finally finding the items we need, and there's another duct tape actually, so we have to put one of the soda, or actually, no, we end up putting the bleach. No, we switch. We do put the soda can back. And I'm going just to check into dinner time. And then we're gonna go, I'm gonna drop off the soda can, and I'm gonna drop off a bleach there just because of waiting to make the medic outfit. That was just the decision I made to leave it there for when that will eventually happen. Because in my mind, I'm just thinking, well, since I'm waiting to get all the intellect, maybe I should just leave the bleach there and just have it there to know. Instead of like carrying it around the whole time until I find the time to get the intellect to craft it, I can just leave it near the area where I need it anyway. So yeah, we're continuing to look through the desk. We find the second timber, so now we just need one each of timber and duct tape, and then get the money for the crowbar and either another crowbar or an iron rod. Yeah, so we're finding a lot of the quest items. We should be good on money. We also got the instant win on the Wet Bandit quest because of the plumber job. We find the other duct tape there, so at that point we can ditch the Beat the Bully quest because none of them spawn timber, and we've got all the duct tape we need. And actually doing the quest for money isn't worth it because you have to craft an item, and we still don't have our intellect up, and then you have to use it to beat someone up. It's just really a hassle, not worth it. Let's see. Yeah, and we're talking to some of the guys just to, I mumbled to myself that we were talking to those guys just to see if they were one of the people we needed to return the quest to. But I should have known that if they're selling the item, they're not one of those people. I'm pretty sure it's never one of the people that is selling the items. It can be if it's the delivery driver quest, but when it's the personal fetch quest, it's never the case. I get caught there looking through the desk by the guard there, and I just barely beat him up. I end up taking his outfit, and at that point I'm thinking, well, I can just use the guard outfit if I can keep this safe instead of crafting the medic outfit. I have to remind myself that I already checked that section of the desk earlier, so I just go up to check these ones. I already checked the top one, that's how I got caught. Find the other timber we need, but the problem is my heat is high, and I don't know if I can actually get back to my desk to keep it safe. But I give it a shot here, I try to rush over, and I don't make it in time. The snipers get me, so I've lost that timber, which is a bit of a setback. At that point, I'm starting to worry that I might have to actually buy the other timber, but there's also that top row of desks on the right side that I can check. And there's also this desk, which often has good stuff. It did not today. And I also forgot to ever check into job time, so I'm going to get the half star here that I'm usually trying to avoid getting as many stars as possible, just because it helps the guards not be so vigilant, and because I feel I haven't like taken the time to actually experiment with this, but just my thought is that if there's a high star rating, the guards might be more likely to wander into the cafeteria during our escape sequence. So that's why I usually try to avoid getting stars, just so the guards don't pop in and see us doing our thing when it comes to actual escape time. So we're continuing to look through these desks. We go with the bottom three for now, and I believe we still haven't found the items we need, but we do find good gift items, and we take them because we're about to go to roll call. We'll have a chance to return that last quest item we still have, and then try to buy at least one of the items that we need later. So indeed, we switch over to the lost property quest so we can return the item. The map, we have a hard time figuring out who we actually need to return it to by the map, But we do find someone selling the iron bar, and that just means that the next item we buy will definitely have to be a crowbar. Which does make it a little bit more difficult, but it's never too much of a problem. Crowbars are pretty easy to find, especially when you're getting stuff done early and you have plenty of time to work with. But again, I have to remind myself, I still haven't gone and done the intellect. So part of my panic with having lost that piece of timber was I still need to waste a lot of time going to get my intellect. So I don't know if I'm going to have enough time to actually do everything here, which is a bit of a problem. So right now I'm just going around doing quests because at this point I'm pretty resigned to needing to buy the timber from someone. But we're going through these quests pretty easily. It's all not too much of a problem. We're getting lucky that a lot of these fetch quests are all putting all the items on the same side as our main desk. So well, it could be either side. It's just the fact that they're on the same side makes them easy to gather up. So we get a few and take them over to exercise time, both to check in and return them for some money. And I believe once we return the fashion victim quest, we have enough money to buy what am I saying? Well, we also find a delivery driver quest there, which helps us with money even more. So at that point, I'm starting to relax a little bit, knowing that we'll have plenty of money to buy the timber if we do need to. But the problem is time, because I still need to go get my intellect up. We pick up Beat the Bully quest. It doesn't spawn an extra timber, so we dish it. I've got the money I need. Yeah, and we're just... I still haven't realized that all we need to do is just... or I guess what I'm doing here is I'm just trying to find where the delivery driver quest was, because I forget who actually gave it to us. We're still not finding it. That's the Rockhammer Hard Place, guys. We finally find it again. We're going to try to finish these two really quick. And that just, like, make sure we have all the money we need. And then some. So let's see, if I pull up my inventory really quick to see, okay, I had 135 coins. That's enough to buy the crowbar. Not quite enough to get the timber yet, but again, we still have a few desks to check for the timber, so it might not be necessary. We find the crowbar we need, so that's good. I would go return it really quick, because I think the only reason I returned that immediately was because knowing I messed up on the timber, so I don't want to mess up on the crowbar as well, otherwise we really got a problem. I do finally go return the fashion victim quest. At that point I just need to do I have 90 coins here. I'm pretty sure the timber costs 95, so I do need to return at least one more quest just to have the money to do it. So we go get this medic outfit. An interesting thing happens with the medic outfit, because the guy I need to return it to is still back up in the shower time, which means I need to pass a contraband detector to go get it. I just had in my mind that all the costumes are contraband, but I looked over the medic outfit and saw that it wasn't actually contraband. So I try it out. This was a little bit risky. If I really wanted to be safe, I would have just not bothered. I would have just gone around if I was really concerned about being safe. We end up getting attacked by someone who hates us. We're getting it, and that's really a bummer because of how much we're running out of time. We still need to find that last timber, and we still have to get all our intellect up. So I'm starting to think we don't have enough time to get the materials ready before the second job time period, which is, if you saw the IL record run, that's the point where we want to have it by, is the second job time period starting. And that's just so we can set off the contraband detector early and save us some trouble there. We go over the TUMBLR. I thought the guard was already past enough that they wouldn't notice us take the timber, but we get noticed sneaking the timber again, and that's just bad form by me. There's the fact that I got caught with timber twice. I've got no excuses for feeling rushed here at the end. It's my own fault because I messed up the timber finding. Over to my desk very quickly. So yeah, I'm sitting here stressing that I'm running out of time to get everything, but it's also my own fault. So it's not like I can blame. it's not like I'm blaming the RNG for that. I'm mad at myself here.
I'm pretty sure the run's
And yeah, like losing that last timber again is when I'm really thinking I might have messed up this run, because the run started so well. We lost some time in the middle, but it's still a shame that it looked like it was gonna die in Fort Tundra. If I can still if I can still find someone to buy the timber from really quick, I can at least do the slow. I was thinking at this point I could at least do the slow escape in here, where you actually wait until after roll call to trip the contraband detector, which just makes it a little bit slower because you have to wait for the heat to die down. We finally get the stick and we just go return it, and then all we have to do is go get our intellect up. But getting the intellect is going to take long enough that we don't have time to trip the contraband detector early, and like still have enough time for our heat to die down before we go back up to roll call. So yeah, at this point I was thinking this is just going to be a slow Tundra. We're not going to be able to start digging right at the 11th minute, like we talked about in the Isle Run record. Because the 11th minute after roll call ends is the earliest you can start digging. I thought it's going to take us longer than that to start the digging. So it was going to be a little bit slow Tundra. So yeah, we're here getting our intellect up. We're really looking for good configs, because I think if we can do this really fast, we might still be able to get the early contraband into the cafeteria. But it's going to be close either way. And we get some not so good configs, and I'm just kind of watching the time in relation to how much intellect I have, and it's just like dawning on me by the minute that no, I don't have enough time. This is going to be a slower Fort Tundra than I'm supposed to do it. But again, that's my own fault, because I messed up the last timber twice, and then had to buy it from someone else, which meant I had to do a bunch of extra quests, more than I would normally have to. So all this like time loss and not having enough time to do the early contraband, it's my own fault. But yeah, we're finishing up the intellect. I'm watching the time quickly, and yeah, I'm realizing I don't have enough time to go, because it's not just having to get my intellect up. I have to then go back to my desk and craft the item before I can even bring it over to the contraband detector. And like right now, I'm like, okay, I definitely don't have enough time. This is just gonna have to be the slow Fort Tundra, where we wait till after roll call to trip the contraband. But yeah, we finally got our intellect up, and we finally have everything ready. So now we're just going back to craft the items. We also are setting up the bed dummy because of the fact that we are planning on doing the slow escape method. We've realized we have that bleach there. I actually forgot about the bleach I had left at the cafeteria, which is a little bit silly, because the entire reason I had it there was to use for the medic outfit. I think I ended up using this bleach in my inventory for the medic outfit, so that bleach we left behind earlier was just a complete waste. So yeah, we get our bed W crafted, we get it in our bed, and we have everything ready, but yeah, it's too late at this point to do the early contraband, because our heat's not going to die down fast enough for us to return to roll call. So yeah, we get our medic outfit on, and it's not too much of a problem just to have it on already, because our heat is already at 0, so, and the only reason we have the regular prisoner outfit we want to have the regular prisoner outfit with it, just for heat management, but since we're already at 0, it doesn't matter. We have the foresight to realize we're low on energy, we should regenerate some before roll call happens. And I also didn't realize I never checked into job time, so we actually do get the full star rating, which is a little bit bad, because it means the guards are going to be a little more on it, and it's a little more likely that they're going to discover us in the cafeteria breaking through everything. So yeah, we get that can of soda back, and it's looking like everything's in order. And we're paying close attention to how much heat we have to see exactly how soon we can step outside after we break through the wall. So yeah, we're starting to break through the wall. We're also watching out for that camera in the cafeteria room. I I haven't tested this for sure, but and I'd rather not learn it the hard way, which is why I didn't take the risk. But it looks like when the camera's turned as far left as it can go, it can just barely see you. Chip. So you like I was a little bit nervous to be chipping at the wall while the camera was as far left as it can go. Otherwise, it might catch you. So I decided to wait until the camera turns back around. I should test that at some point whether or not it's safe. But luckily enough, we were paying close attention to our heat. We actually did have enough time to reduce our heat to be able to walk out and dig at the 11th minute. And that was really close because, well, I don't know. But yeah. So it turns out even if you wait till roll call to trip the contraband detector, you do have enough time for your heat to die down before the 11th minute. So that whole like early contraband thing, it turns out it might not really be necessary, but it's also pretty close. So in my mind, it's like a pick your poison. Because the thing is like with this new method of breaking just one wall, you have to walk right by a very well lit area, and like even if you're in the disguise outfit, if they see you walking around those that area after the final roll call, they're gonna get mad at you, and they're gonna start a lockdown. So the bigger issue is making sure you get past that lighted area before roll call actually ends. And that's what I was trying to say earlier, but I don't know, that's another thing I could probably do with actually testing a little bit. Because I thought that happened once in my practice runs when I was testing out the new strat. But anyway, we get through Fort Tundra just fine. It's a gold split because it's the first time we're using that new strat, and that new strat is very much more ideal than the previous one. So anyway, we're going into Area 17. This is the one I practiced before starting that run by doing the IL speed runs. And again, we did get the new IL world record, so no matter what happens here, I was still like happy with this stream because we got 2 IL world records, and it was looking like we got a decent shot to take back the 100% world record, and even if we didn't, we set a very good PB. So we're just looking for the feather and the ink. We find a can of soda, which helps a little bit. It helps us like not have to spend time to regenerate our energy after getting the intellect, and we can just like start looking for the guards to fight right away. We do find the ink. It doesn't take us that long. I picked up the stick just to use as a weapon, but I reconsidered just because like stick is or timber rather. I just need to stop calling it a stick. Just because like it's a slow weapon, and I tend to not like the slow weapons because my pace of fighting is usually fast, and the slow speed of those weapons really throws me off and makes me make mistakes. So I usually try to stay away from the slow weapons. I can make do with them if I really need to, but I if it comes to a slow weapon versus just using my fist, I'll usually opt to just use my fist, which is what we do here. So yeah, we're just trying to get our intellect up to 60. Yeah, we're trying to get our intellect up to 60 to be able to create the fake ID once we get the blank security pass from a guard. We have that can of soda that'll help us get our energy back after we're done gathering up the intellect. And we're still going to sit down for a little bit to recuperate energy, but we also like use that to effectively multitask to find the right guards on the map while we're resting up energy. So we do still end up taking time to sit down and rest up energy, but it's not wasted time because we're using it productively to find where the guards we need to get to chase us are. So we're almost done gathering up our intellect. We had a pretty good set of configs there. Those, except for right at the end there. Yeah, for the most part, that intellect gathering went very well. Yeah, and like The Stealtho 88, he was watching this run the entire time, and like he told me right about now, he was starting to get nervous because he knew this one run was going really well, and this was the map I was practicing, so he knew like there's a good chance he's gonna make up some time here. But I still thought like his ending in the world record one was really good, so I'm not optimistic about my chances to catch him. I knew I still did have a chance, but didn't think it was a very good chance. We find the 2 guards we need very quickly, and we're just drawing them over to the escape area. So this is looking like it's going pretty well, but again, the world record had a really good Area 17 as well, so even if I make up time, it's only going to be a little bit. But yeah, I'm really glad that I practiced Area 17 some, because it got me used to this entire sequence, and it made it feel very easy what I was doing here. I messed it up a little bit, because I don't quite make the best of the electrified fence in order to help kill the guard faster. And in fact, I accidentally run into it a second time, which is a bit messy, because if that happened at the wrong time, I would have killed myself and like ruined the entire run. Luckily, it didn't come to that though. But yeah, I got the security pass and the 2 keys. I'm seeing that other guard walked by while I was rushing up here to get to this desk makes me think, okay, this level isn't quite over. I still have to get past that guard, but it turns out he's walking back up. He's going out of the way. We don't have to worry about him. So it's all going well and good. We get to the end, check in, and indeed we did lose a little bit of time on the world record, so we're still behind. But it was one of the best Area 17s we've had in the 100% runs. Indeed, it's a gold split, and we're now almost 5 minutes ahead of our PB. So we're going into Air Force Con. I saw that Air Force Con took the world record about 3 minutes, so I know if we get a really lucky Air Force Con, we can make that time up and possibly break the world record right here. But that requires us to get really lucky. And speak of the devil, we find 2 of the 3 ropes you need right in that first desk. The middle of this run, where I lost a lot of time back to the world record, really like kind of made me think, yeah, world record's not going to happen, but this can at least be a good PB. Seeing those 2 ropes right in the first desk injects hope back into this run. Holy crap, if we can find the other rope quickly, this might still be a new world record. Because we'd make up so much time on the world record, because it took the world record 3 minutes for Air Force Con. We don't find it downstairs, which is where we were really hoping to find it in order to get a quick escape here. We have some bad luck with guard configurations, and we have to fight off these 2 guards before we can check these desks upstairs. And like, I'm already cursing myself that that 3rd rope isn't showing itself, because that's really what we needed to happen in order to still have a chance to break this world record. But we still got time to make up here if we can find it soon. We don't find it in that desk, and this other guard is also in a really bad configuration. We have to fight him too. This is just all compounding to ruin what was effectively our last chance to catch up to the world record. We check this desk really hoping it's there. It is not, but we do find the wire. I had actually already skipped a wire before, so it's good that there was a duplicate wire. Just to take just in case I needed to just like ignore the rope escape altogether and go for the crash the plane escape. I decided not to check the medic desk just because like the guards are all there. It's gonna be messy. But I ended up having to fight 2 more guards. Like all the guards I had to fight here really contributed to losing our chance to catch the world record here. But yeah, I'm just really mad at this point that the 3rd rope didn't show up. The game teased us with the first 2 ropes very quickly, but it wouldn't give us the 3rd rope. Right there, I actually find the rope and the other 2 batteries, the two batteries I would need for the crash the plane escape. Because I was actually closer to where you go to crash the plane, it probably would have been better for me to ignore the ropes altogether and just go for the other escape. But like I think it was just like me having my mind set to this one so much because we found the ropes early that I decided to go for this one. Probably costing me a little bit extra time, but yeah, not finding that third rope quickly enough. We just lost even more time to the world record when we could have caught up so much. So at this point, I'm pretty convinced that we're not going to get the world record, but it's still going to be a good PB. Thinking about looking at how much time the world record took here in Anomaly, I think, you know, maybe we still have the ever so slightest chance if we can find the screwdriver right away. It's not in our desk, but we find a health regen item just in case we need it, and bleach, which helps fight the guards. But yeah, I'm thinking at this point, if we don't find the screwdriver in the first few desks, then we're not getting the world record.
I think the world record is still.
And yeah, like, oh, man.
I need the screwdriver.
The other guy, Stealtho 88, like the longer it took for that third rope to show up back in Air Force Con, the more he was like relaxing, because he was telling me after the runs, like when I saw both of the two rope, like when I saw two of the three ropes right from the beginning, his heart like dropped a little bit. It's like, oh crap, he's gonna get a really lucky Air Force Con, and my record's gonna be bye-bye. But the longer it took to find the third rope, the more he relaxed, knowing, okay, the world record's still mine. And after we did not find the screwdriver in the entire first side of the desk, that's when we pretty much know, okay, the world record is still his. There's no way for me to catch up anymore. Absolutely no way. In fact, like when we're getting to this point, I'm starting to wonder if the screwdriver's just not going to show up at all, and I'm going to have to reset Anomaly again, just like I did have to in the first sub-hour run. Which is a little bit obnoxious, is that screwdriver that just never shows up. That really messes with me. We've got 3 desks left to check, and it needs to show up in one of them. And I really don't want to have to reset, just because, like, if we reset, like, it's just going to be not as good of an improvement to the PB. We do finally find the screwdriver in that desk, and we actually realize, since we need to fire a guard anyway, we don't have to care whether or not that guard sees us take the screwdriver, because we're going to fight him anyway to take his outfit. And his baton as well, because it makes fighting the 2 guards inside the guard area easier to fight. So yeah, we tossed some items. Probably didn't have to worry about tossing those items. Probably wasted me a little bit of time, but again, we'd already lost the world record at that point. And in fact, right then, it's already official that we're not catching the world record, because we're already past its time. But yeah, we're still finishing off what was a really good run, other than some key points of really bad luck, especially Kapow Camp. If Kapow Camp had gone better, this would have been an easy world record break. And like, yeah, again, Air Force Con is just like that. Those 2 ropes breathed some life back into it, but not finding the third one just killed it for good. So we get the jetpack, and we just need to fight these guards. Luckily, the first guard wasn't the one with the red key, so we have more time to fight the other. If we had knocked out the red key guard first, we would have had to make sure the second one died quickly before the medics came and grabbed him. And also, like, if the medics grab the red key guard too soon, since we have to walk through an area where the dogs are, we don't want the lockdown to have already started by the time we're trying to do this, otherwise the dogs are going to attack us, and you know. So it's good that we killed the red key guard second. So yeah, we finished that run. It is a 4-minute improvement over our world record, but we're still pretty sad that that third rope in Air Force Con wouldn't show itself, and so we lost our last chance to push ourselves ahead of world record in that run. But it's still a very good new PB, and it just assures me that the prisons that were once the run killers for me are now getting easier just with practice and new strats. So I should have no problem just grinding out runs until I get the good one to take the world record back. So Stealtho 88, your record stayed safe for now because the third rope would not show itself, but I'm still on the hunt, and I will get you soon, and I'm sure you know that too. Because of how nervous you were getting during this run, and
like once the rope happened,
just
there was no way I
the
was
more
gonna
we can
get
challenge
right
each
there.
other to push this record lower and lower, I think the more exciting this is gonna be. So it's all good. Fuck that third rope though. I like pretty much that's all I was saying in this like final summary of the run. It's just fuck that third rope because it would not show itself. Oh, you can probably hear me like under this commentary talking about that. But yeah, there's the run. It's a new PB, almost a world record. Just a few key points of bad luck prevented it from being. But anyway, that is it for today. I might actually, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to be doing some more world record attempts in the next few days, and hopefully I can hit it soon. And until then, I will see you later.
Getting really bad.